Tutani is one of the great, good artists.
Born into a family of accomplished Zimbabwean artists, Tutani Mgabazi would seem destined to be endowed with the talent to carve his own career as a successful sculptor. Events were to prove that his talent is exceptional, one that has earned him international recognition. Fate was to enrich his life in ways he could never have imagined. A typical weekday morning finds Tutani driving from his home in Mvurwi to Mtoroshanga, 100 kilometers northwest of Zimbabwe's capital, Harare, a journey he used to make on a scooter. Some things, however, don't change. For from this mountain quarry comes the stone that is the bedrock on which Tutani has built his reputation. Commonly called springstone, it is a form of serpentine, easy to work with, yet hard enough to allow the artist to produce sculptures of delicate detail. Now 37, Tutani has come a long way since he sold his first sculpture at the age of 12. Like many an artist before him, his has been a journey of discovery and development. When he returns home today, he will break his journey to visit two people who have had a profound impact on shaping the course of his life.
We moved to this part of the world in about 1993-94, as far as I can recall.
Jim Latham is a development consultant with a background in anthropology and African history. His wife, Jill, is an artist in her own right, with a keen appreciation for the talent of others. They are both exceptional people.
Shortly after our arrival, Jill discovered that there was a lot of sculpting going on in the area and started to take an interest in what was happening. And this led us eventually to Tutani, who lived a few miles up the road, and where he's got a stone quarry and was doing his work. And with her artist's eye, she immediately seized on him as a talent and realized that this was somebody who really was going to go places at some stage.
Went down to the quarry and had a look at his work and saw this incredibly talented young man, and thought that really all he needed to become great was encouragement.
I was just a very young boy. It's very, I really wished to do something with my talent, and I was just there at the quarry, which is almost like in the forest, trying to do what I felt in my heart.
I certainly couldn't teach him anything. He knew it. It was just hidden inside him. You know, Tutani's success comes from Tutani. The fact that he feels within himself about the stone.
Acutely aware that if that hidden potential was to be given freedom of expression, the Lathams promptly loaded Tutani's sculptures into their own vehicle and delivered them to the National Gallery in Harare, where his work was being displayed. It was the beginning of what was to develop into a deep and lasting relationship.
Miss Latham invited me and said, well, you know, I've got a nice garden. I myself am an artist and I feel for you. So why don't you come and have your display at my house? I have a lot of visitors that come, they can see your work.
The garden spreads out over quite a big area, and we've got stuff on display all over the place. Not only by Tutani, some of them are by people that he's mentored in his turn. This was done by a young man with considerable talent, who unfortunately is no longer with us, but you can see for yourself that this was a work of considerable skill. And on my right here we've got a sculpture of a dolphin by Takawira, and in the corner here a very special piece that was done by Tutani many years ago, which is of the spirit of water, the Njuzu, which he gave to us, and that's a very special sentimental attachment to and which is never going to go from here. That belongs here, near the water and near us. This is another Njuzu, a water spirit. The Njuzu are very important to traditional Shona culture.
Tutani follows no set formula when giving expression to his creativity. It's a natural process that has remained constant, even as his perceptions have evolved.
Sometimes I have an idea in my mind and I put it on a paper. I look for the correct stone to put that idea on. Or sometimes a piece of stone from its natural shape can influence me to make something out of it. Well, I started making all sorts of different things, like owls. I could make different birds, faces, and anything that came to my mind. Okay, this a baboon family done by my uncle, Francis Mgabazi. I was imitating what he was doing in my early ages, and then I decided to do my own thing. Yeah, this is one of my earliest species. It's a resting eagle, and I did it around 15 years ago. Eventually I found that I wanted to bring out mainly the beauty. The beauty which I wanted to capture in the stone was from the women, from their movements. That's when I started concentrating more on female figures.
It's a special Wednesday, and Tutani has driven to Harare to deliver some of his latest work to someone else with whom he has forged a very close bond through his art. Christian Deal and Tutani Mgabazi go back a long way. An art teacher by profession, in 1989, Christine helped establish a partnership between her school in Germany and Mondoro Secondary School in Zimbabwe. An appeal by Mondoro for help to raise project funding gave Christine the idea to buy sculptures in Zimbabwe, sell them in Germany, and use the profits to build a science lab for Mondoro Secondary School.
The success of such exhibition has been real great. So at the end I can finance the science lab, helped a lot of other schools and so on and so on. And then
Behind the scenes, meanwhile, other forces had been at work.
Early date I met Tutani, a shy young man at the age of 17, 18, something like this.
Yeah, that's
and
19 years?
Yeah.
18 years ago.
Okay. And since we are getting closer and closer, and now we have really family relationship.
It's a personal bond that fits comfortably hand in hand with their business partnership. Indeed, it's largely been Christine's promotional impetus that has propelled Tutani to international recognition.
Okay, Tutani, can you get it up? I want to see how you have done the polishing. Is it as nicely as we told? Can you get it up? Oh yeah.
This one.
It's great.
Oh,
It's getting one of my best sculptures in the next exhibition in Germany.
Yes.
I always enjoy the art of Tutani because Tutani is one of the great good artists. Also very often some artists just doing it for money. But for Tutani it's always very important that he put his own emotion to a sculpture, which makes it special in my eye.
This is an abstract torso. I call it twisting torso, which is just this part of the woman, right down to the knees or something like that. So I captured that and simplified it to just a few lines, but you can still see the twist. Like this is almost like representing the other arm, and this is representing the other arm. Like she's stretching, let's say in the morning, like oh, something like that.
I think he is catching the beauty of the female body very well. Also, it's a little bit also his own private history, that he is very interested in women, and he has found no, that's right, come on.
All right.
And he has found the beauty in stone, like the beauty for females he like.
This I call it water spirit, and it's more about the beauty that I capture from when a woman who likes to spend time in the water or swim is swimming. The face will be up, just coming out of the water, and the hair will be showing, like going down, being pulled down with the wetness, and that's the beauty that I wanted to capture.
Busy as he is with his own career, Tutani nevertheless takes time to help nurture a new generation of Zimbabwean sculptors. Together with the Lathams, he set up Artists for Artists, a project that provides aspiring sculptors with workshops and personal tuition. Roderick Mgabazi has spent the past 6 years working as Tutani's assistant while developing his own talent.
This is one of my latest pieces, and I have some pieces in this color, and this is called Champupuri in Shona, since we are doing Shona art, and in English they call it whirlwind. And I think it will be beautiful, more beautiful when it's done.
Takawera Chikwanyanga is not here to learn. An accomplished sculptor with an established reputation, Takawera has worked with Tutani for 5 years in a partnership under the umbrella of the Artists for Artists project. When he sets off down the road to his mountain quarry tomorrow, Tutani Mgabazi's thoughts may well turn to memories of a struggling young sculptor on a scooter. A far cry from the internationally acclaimed artist whose works can be found today in galleries and private homes, not just in Europe, but in North America, the Middle East, and Asia, with demand continuing to grow. While time and fickle human perceptions of artistic merit may well be the ultimate judges of the value of Tutani Mgabazi's art, there can be little doubt that its lasting testament will be the influence it has had on the lives of 3 remarkable people.
They didn't want anything from me. They couldn't even ask for a commission from me. It kept me wondering, saying, oh, what kind of white people are these? Until later on I couldn't see the white people in front of me. I could only see parents in front of me.
We actually do love him very dearly, very dearly.
Sometimes I kind of run out of words to explain it, because it's unusual and not very ordinary, the relationship between me and Baba and Amai, I call them.
He's special. He's a very, very special and beloved son.